Hey guys, Recklins here from Ricola Gaming, and I'm going to show you the plugin ServerSigns. Now, this plugin allows you to do various different things with signs that is actually, quite nice. Now, I'm going to show you an example of what this plugin can do before I actually start going into it. So, let's say, we want to go to the mob arena. So, this is the sign that will teleport you. Right-click this sign to join. So we right-click the sign, and it brings me into the mob arena, as you can see. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And I'm also going to show you something else to execute messages and execute console commands and many other things. So I'm just going to do /ma leave here. And alright, so we're going to go over here to my empty space, and I'm going to show you guys how to do this. So you have a sign. All you need to do is type in whatever the hell you want. It doesn't have to be anything specific. It can be poop for all that matter. There you go. Now, take an empty hand, and then you're going to want to type in /svs add. And what you're doing is you're actually adding a command to the sign. So /svs add, and then whatever command you'd like. So /spawn. There you go. Right-click the sign to bind the command to it, and we do that. Now what happens is when somebody right-clicks the sign, it executes that command for the specific player that is right-clicking on the sign. So if I do it, it takes me to spawn, just like that. So I'm going to show you another example. Another example of this would be executing a message to a player. So what we want to do is type in /svs add, and then in these little brackets, those little end arrow things, I don't know what they're called, but you want to type in message, like that. And then we're going to type in whatever your message is going to be. So, hi. Right-click the sign to bind to it. Alright. Now, it's going to say hi to whoever right-clicks on the sign. See what I mean? Just like that. I do have Essentials Protect up, so it does spam that. I actually have to shut that off so other players don't see that, but I will do that later. Another example would be, alright, let me sort of explain this. When somebody right-clicks the sign, it executes the command as if they were executing it in the chat box. Now, which means that they would have to have that permission to execute that command, since they are executing it and not the console. Now, if you want to make the console execute it, so say you wanted to set so they get XP whenever they right-click on the sign. Although you don't want them to be able to execute the XP command by themselves. What you would want to do is type /svs add, and then in those brackets again you're going to want to type in server. And that's going to tell the sign to execute the command not from the player, but from the server. So now we type in the command. So /xp, and then what you want to do is for whoever the player is that's right-clicking it, what you want to do is you want to type in those brackets again and then player. And that's going to tell the sign that whenever you right-click on the sign, the player who right-clicked gets filled into that little player. It sort of acts as a variable. So say I wanted to give me, 500 XP. So right-click the sign to bind to it. We do that. And then what's going to happen is when we right-click it, it's going to give, see the console, giving 500 XP to Ricolance, which is me. And I can do this as many times as I want, which is not good. We don't want that. What if you only want them to be able to give XP every hour? Or, every, I'm just going to say minute to make this a little bit easier. But you can do hours, you could do days, you could do weeks, you could do months, you could do years, you could do anything. So what you want to do is you want to type in, what is it, /svs? It's /svs, so those are all the commands. Now there are two types of cooldowns. The cooldowns run in seconds, as you can read if you know how to read. But the cooldowns do run in seconds. So if you do /set cooldown, you're setting a cooldown for a specific player. But if you're doing /svs set global cooldown, you're using the global cooldown for everybody. which means if one person uses it, nobody can use it for however many times is specified. Just a regular set cooldown would mean any player could use it. It's just that specific player is given the cooldown. So let's say I want to set, just a regular cooldown. So /svs set cooldown, and in seconds. So we're just gonna say I don't know, it's 10 minutes. I think it's 600. So right click the sign to bind to it, and there we go. So we use it, gives us 500 experience, and then we can't use it again for another 9 minutes and 56 seconds, which is from the 10 minutes. And if we just can't use it. It doesn't let us. Now, we can do that globally, or we can do that by just a regular player, and we can set that to as many signs as we like. It's just for that specific sign. Now, if we only wanted to set it so only a specific person can use that sign, or a specific group, we want to set a permission for it. So if we do /svs, we see that there is a set permission. Now, I'm going to go over permissions just a little bit. The regular permissions node is just ServerSign.use. But you can do ServerSign.use and then the name of whatever permission you specify here. So if you do /svs set permission, and then you type in, say, OK. Right click the sign to set permissions. So now, in your permissions, whatever you use, permissions X, permissions, or B permissions, or whatever, it will only act when that specific group has ServerSigns.use.OK. So anybody with that permission would be able to click on it. I'm op, so I have all the permissions. So it just gives it to me. And I'm just going to give you an example. I've actually already used all of these, so it's not going to show you everything. But see, specific ranks for donating. They're allowed to have, this is on my server by the way, they're allowed to have $250 and 500 experience every 5 hours. And this sign resets every 5 hours. I've already used it, so as you can see that there is a cooldown already set. But see, I've typed it out, I have all colors and flashiness to it, which is, I guess, cool. But they can only execute that command every 5 hours. Now, there is not a global cooldown set to it, which means that anybody can use it except for the people without the permission and the people that have already used it within that 5-hour time period. And this works for a different rank over here, which gives you $500 and 1,000 experience, and $1,000 and 2,000 experience every 4 hours. Now that one's set differently, as you can see. It says 3 hours 47 and 4 hours and 46. I've used these all at the same time. So let's see if there's anything else that I'm missing, just in case. Grant, I honestly, I've never used Grant. I've never found the need to. So I wouldn't be the person to explain it to you very well. Confirmation, I honestly, same thing. Set price, you can set a price to it, which means if it costs money to use the sign, which, it comes in handy. It just depends on whatever situation that you have. But it basically allows you to set a price to use the sign. And I guess that's really it. If you do have any questions, please leave a comment. I will gladly answer it. I'm online every day reading comments and such. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next video.